Dear students, it is the fourth video for week 9 and we are covering security threats confronting Pakistan. In this video, we are talking about the internal security threats that Pakistan has been facing for years. Dear students, the internal security and safety is more important sometimes than the external aggressions. Just like, for example, if your immune system is strong, you take good diet, your body has more resistance against the germs and other uh, substances which may destroy your health, you are strong. Similarly, if a country is internally sound, he can receive and retort to the external challenges more vehemently and effectively. But if a country is internally suffering and internal ailments are more, then the external threats easily capture the country. And since for almost 300 years, the war strategies have been changed. Now, the war of propagation, war of divide and rule policy, that is the philosophy of Francis Bacon and the Machiavelli, and British especially applied this philosophy in subcontinent and they remained extremely successful. Similar philosophy is being practiced throughout the world that create tensions internally and make them fight with one another, and you achieve these targets. And unfortunately, Pakistan has suffered the same in 1971. Well, among the most worst or among the worst, say, uh, internal conflicts is political instability, political instability, poor economy, energy and water crisis, ethnicity, extremism, and terrorism. Fine, I read right here. Energy and water crisis, ethnicity, extremism, these are the major challenges that Pakistan is facing at this occasion. Let's, for example, political instability, that how it destroys the country. You have seen since Pakistan came into being, and the very first decade, right from 1948 to 1957, it remained a political gap. The intrusion of armed forces and the intrusion of civil bureaucracy in the matters of politics, and incapability of the politicians of that time, it was so worst that agitation started in East and West Pakistan. Then era of Ayub Khan. Although Pakistan made some little progress, yet the political will, political liberty, and participation in the system of government by for the general public was not possible. And resultantly, there happened a gap. Politicians were denounced, they were posed as traitors in East and West Pakistan, and Muslim League lost their uh, confidence. Whereas in India, Congress remained ruling for years and years, and they embarked India on the road of prosperity, and they gave Indians as uh, a celebrated democracy in the world, although they were not. Well, apart from this, then Sheikh Mujib formed a political party, Awami League, in Bangladesh, and then they started talking about their right. It was inflamed by the uh, Indians, and resultantly, fighting happened. Second political disparity happened when Bhutto became the martial law administrator, and in 1970 elections, Sheikh Mujib's party won. Bhutto's party in East Pakistan was leading but didn't have that amount of seats, and then he refused to accept the mandate, and the consequences happened that Pakistan politically lost its ground, and army was the only solution to control. But meanwhile, India attacked, and the situation was completely embarrassing. Then the political crisis continued. You see here that in times of when later on Bhutto and Zia clash, then the time came when Benazir Bhutto became the prime minister and her government was toppled. Second, Nawaz Sharif came in power, and then the government was toppled. Okay, and then the political rivalry of these both major parties, PPP and Muslim League, continued. And meanwhile, in 1999, when military takeover taken place and Musharraf took the powers, then there were Misake Jamhuriyat, and then time changed, and now you have seen that the PTI government, they stance against corruption, but they are also having some corrupt people in their own uh, camp, and resultantly there is agitation. Okay, but these all the things are visible, and the factors are visible, but these things are leading Pakistan into a worst situation. Well, the second thing is ethnicity. Ethnicity is called firqawariyat, that since Pakistan came into being, people were never open to the delicate, sensitive differences between Shia and Sunni, Deobandis and Brelvis, but foreign investment was made on these people, and especially in Musharraf's time, when media was opened and every uh, common and special person was invited on television, okay, and they were allowed, and now the result is that people are fighting with one another. The seed of the tension is arousing, fine, and you find that there have been many killings uh, and communal violence in the mosques, in Imam Bargas, and the scholars of both sides have been destroyed and killed. But you must understand that this ethnicity is not the product of Pakistan. They have been promoted here in Pakistan. Why? Because Arabs, Iranians, Americans, Indians are fighting in Pakistan and they are promoting these things properly. Fine. Since Iranians want their influence and their ideology upon the everywhere, especially in the Arab nations, and most of the people uh, they have been deployed in their war system. They have militias. They ask the people to join, and then a series of fighting and tension continued in Syria. You find that even the youth is trained and sent into these areas, and they are the very known facts. And everything is being done at the name of the Jannat and good name and goodwill of the Imams and other. And similar thing happened in Afghanistan when Afghan war started. People of Pakistan was emotional. They made emotional, and they participated in a series of jihad, and resultantly there was a different culture. But the revolution of 1971, that 1971, that is the 80s, is very dangerous for Pakistan, especially from the concept of ethnicity. Why? Because in 1971, Russia entered in Afghanistan and Pakistan had to change the policy, and Jihadi Afghanistan started, and it was led mostly by the Sunnis, Deobandi group especially. But in the same time, when Iranian Revolution happened, and then uh, Shia concept prevailed. It attracted the Shia Muslims in subcontinent, especially in Pakistan, and they loved Iran. Now, Iranian were running their own system of government, and they used this. Okay, in Afghanistan, Sunnis are used in Afghanistan, whereas Shias being used by the uh, by Iran in various areas. Okay, why now? Because Pakistan had a close relation with the Arab nations that time, and Pakistani population is mostly dominated by Shias and Sunnis. Fine, Sunnis have affiliation with the Arabs, whereas the Shias have the Iran and Arabs have a very historical clashes. Okay, and this is all in nutshell. And then a third matrix is linked with terrorism when Indians posed their uh, their policies, terrorist policies, and launched in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, the Kalboshin Yadav, Uzair Baloch, Claire, and these links linked with the other school of thought. Fine, they are strongly linked with Iran, that they are there, and Iran has a claim. Iran has a claim over Balochistan. Clear? They claim that this is the area of Balochistan. Balochistan is the area of Iran, because Iran, Balochistan is divided, a land between Iran and Pakistan, and this is how they also had a claim, and especially this uh, CPAC again uh, created India, because they claimed that Gilgit Baltistan is with us, and Iran is claiming that Balochistan with us, and the Gwadar is in Balochistan, and the entering point is Gilgit Baltistan. So they had a mutual interest. Although, after the Chinese investment in Iran and in American pressure has posed something different, yet the extremism is at extreme in Pakistan, and especially in the meantimes in the present government, when uh, in Karachi and Islamabad the hate speech by the scholars clear that again inflamed the tension. First, more ethnic tension is the law of blasphemy, that the law of blasphemy is very common, and this is how the mostly in Islamabad and other main cities, sit-ins were staged. So extremism and ethnicity is a very dangerous thing. Thank you.